Hello, world, and welcome to another episode of Fights with Friends podcast. I am your host, Paul Varacchi.
And Stephen Koepfer, your co-host. Hey, why do you say hello, world? Do you think that people around the world are listening to this shit?
They better.
Yeah. I hope so, dude. I hope so.
I mean, you have the analytics. You said somebody, we have a follower in Singapore.
Dude, like 22 countries, 23 countries.
That's awesome. But
Iraq.
It's so funny that we know who our one follower in Singapore is.
I think we have 2 in Singapore now.
Yes!
2 downloads in Singapore. You rock, Singapore. Next episode, though, as long as schedules don't change, we'll have someone from Singapore. So
I can't wait.
Yeah, totally. Yo, man. So I'm excited about this episode. It's our first sort of, it's a mailbag episode. We asked our followers and listeners and viewers to send us some questions.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to dive into some really cool stuff based on a couple of questions we got.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what you been up to, dude?
Let's see. I have not been up to too much. What's been going on?
You've been watching movies.
We have been. I'm like, that's what I feel like I've been doing. I watched 4 movies, 5, 6, because we had some honorable mentions. We'll get into the question, but I mean, it was a lot of movie watching. This week.
I watched like 5 or 6 movies this week. Yeah.
So that was my week. My week was a lot of movies. Did some work for Hard Out.
Cool.
But that's about it, man.
Nice. Man.
I mean, other than that, T. Wizak and Aiden Han.
Aiden. That's our student, Aiden.
I know.
Yeah, man.
Where has Aiden been? Is she coming back?
No, this is the other Aiden.
This is the other Aiden.
We have 2 Aidens.
We have 2 Aidens. We have a boy and a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Aiden with an A. No, with an E. See, I already messed it up. It's Aiden.
They're spelled differently?
Yeah.
I wouldn't fucking know anyway.
Well, here's the deal. We thank you guys, T. Wizak and Aiden, because you commented on our YouTube.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, you guys rock. Thank you for watching and taking the time to comment.
That's right. And we've also got an amazing film festival coming up, the Art of Movie Making Film Festival.
Yeah, man.
This is a special film festival because it really celebrates the, as we say, the engine that keeps a movie makes movie making possible, actually.
It's the making
drives
part
the vehicle
of the movie making.
And, this is a great festival because it, again, like we just said, it, Jesus Christ, what's wrong with me?
I don't know.
I can't think of these words.
We're
showcases.
You're mesmerized by my amazing
showcases.
looks. Right
You know what it is? I got to stop looking at the notes and then taking like looking at the notes and trying to say it at the same time.
Yeah.
It doesn't work for me.
What Paul's trying to say, ladies and gentlemen.
I can't fucking read.
Is that you are no, listen, we are sponsoring an amazing film festival.
Yes.
It's the Art of Movie Making Film Festival that celebrates all the crafts involved, all the quote. I hate the term below the line.
Yeah, because it's not. I feel like we keep it above the line.
It refers to like the budget, line item, but it just sounds minimizing, doesn't it?
It does.
I don't like the term below the line. It's kind of crazy. And stunt people, we're like sort of, I mean, we're talent, but we're not talent. We're like talent, but we have sort of like crew mentality, I think. Does that make sense?
Well, it does make sense. It's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in this weird, like we've got a foot on each side of the line, I feel. But anyway, the film festival is awesome, and they celebrate the set decorators, the props people, the set builders, the costume people, the
puppet design.
Yes, I know.
That's your favorite.
This year's festival had a really great presentation on stop motion animation. That was awesome.
Stop motion's like
with the clay,
like Wallace and Gromit.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
It was so awesome. The festival was really good this year, and they are doing a best stunt performance category.
Nice.
Yeah, and we will have the winner of that category on the show. So I'm looking forward to see who that will be. So if you have a film or even just a segment, a performance in a film that you want to submit to this festival, we will link in the show notes the Film Freeway website. Mm-hmm. Go check them out and submit, man.
Yeah, because hopefully we'll see you here. Because if you win,
or just go to the festival. The festival's awesome. The tickets are not expensive, and you can just attend and watch the movies.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a great networking day where it's just panels and talking, and it was free. Mm-hmm. The networking day was 100% free, which is amazing. It wasn't free to go on the day for the film screenings, but the panels, I sat on the stunt panel. They had several different panels. The claymation thing I told you about was all free.
That's awesome.
100% worth spending the time to do it. So check out the link in our show notes and check it out. Great festival. And if you do submit and you win the best stunt performance, you'll be on the show. That's even better.
That is even better.
That is even better.
Come and hang out with us.
Yeah, totally. And speaking of film screenings, Paul.
Yeah, Preston Thomas, film jiu-jitsu screening.
Yeah, man. It's our first live event.
I'm nervous.
Why?
I'm just kidding. I'm not nervous.
It's not your movie. But, the movie is really good.
It is really good. You let me get a sneak peek of it the other day, and it was great. And it's, you don't do yourself any service, but, Steve talks about all of the legends and the people that are interviewed in this movie, and you're one of them.
Well, you're in there too.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, dude. When it comes to the world of grappling.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm in there.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm in there.
You're in there.
I'm in there.
Because you're the fucking Steve.
But I am not an Eric Paulson who's in there. And I am not a Gokar Chavichin who's in there. I am not a David Leach and 87 North who's in there. I am not the top rung of that totem pole. Does the totem pole have rungs? I'm not the top rung of that ladder. But Preston Thomas is a young filmmaker. This is his second feature, his first documentary.
And a super strong grappler.
Yeah. Yeah. He's an up and coming competitive grappler too. And I think the film became sort of a diary for him in a sense, like trying to figure out his path as a filmmaker and a martial artist and where he's going to go and getting to meet and talk with people like David Leach, for example, right? How like David Leach is down the road where Preston would like to be someday.
Right.
So he got to meet like a lot of people and benefit from their experience. And that all comes through in the documentary. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and if you are a subscriber to our Patreon, you will get a free ticket.
That's right.
That's right. So if you're not on our Patreon, you definitely should go to the show notes and click that link. Even if you just put in $1. If you do $1 a month,
you still get a ticket.
You're still getting a ticket, and we're still going to love you. I mean, you can give up to, we have tiers on the Patreon.
We do.
And there's perks for all the different tiers.
Perks for like our $20 subscribers. They get a custom limited edition
pin,
Fights with Friends podcast enamel pin.
Yes.
That we designed ourselves.
Actually, the pin has the logo, which is Calvin. Yeah.
Episode
3.
3.
Yeah, totally. So, yeah, if you're a $20 subscriber, I mean, all subscribers get early access to the episodes, right? So you'll all get the episodes 5 days before they drop to the public. So that's pretty cool. And then with each tier, we have a $5 tier, $10 tier, $20 tier. There's more perks and more perks
and more perks.
But at all levels, even $1, you're going to come to the live event for free. So definitely get up on there. We'll give you a shout out on the show if you're at $20, like our good friend Kristen Murphy.
Kristen.
Yeah, we love you, Kristen. Anyway, Patreon, check us out. Help us out. But we wouldn't even have a show for you to support if it wasn't for our sponsors, right?
Yes, they are the I would say the foundation. The foundation of what of what I don't know.
Of what this is.
Of what this is. Yeah. I mean, without them, we are we're talking to Matt and Rich about this still.
Matt and Rich are our producers, by the way. So, two of our producers on the other end of our studio, but we'd be just still hashing out ideas with them. I mean, basically, like the show is not behind a paywall. We give it away for free, and we can do that because of our sponsors.
Yes,
yeah, they gave us you used the word, the foundation. They were why we were able to get this off the ground. And we just thank them so much, right?
Yeah. So Stunt Contact.
Yeah.
We thank you so much. Also for everything you do for the stunt industry. All the information that you give all of us stunt performers.
I mean, they don't only sponsor us, but they sponsor the Pay It Forward series out in LA.
I know, but I just like giving us shout outs.
Yeah, I know. It's nice to shout ourselves out.
Right.
Nice but
shout
dude,
out our people.
They just do good work. And it's for the community. They really are community oriented.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're awesome. So check them out if you're a stunt performer or a filmmaker who just needs a good breakdown service. They are really good. Probably their website is top notch, user friendly, consolidated. You know, like when you're searching, you hear about a movie. Oh, something. Let's say whatever. You know, Joe Blow action film is shooting in New Jersey. Oh, who's directing it? Let me see what they wrote about it on Deadline. Oh, what does IMDb Pro say? Oh, who's the stunt coordinator? Who's the line producer? Who's all these? You know what? You don't have to go searching everywhere for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right there. It's all right there. And then they have the little notes section that you can keep notes about that production. Did I send in a resume? Did I not? Like whatever. So it's definitely great service, man. Stunt Contact. Check them out. For sure. Well, Brett Copes. He's pretty cool too.
I like Brett. Brett's the man. Fighter Flight Entertainment.
Yep. Flying humans that are not wearing a cape.
That's funny.
I mean, rigging for human performance. That's what he does. That's his thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
We love Brett. You know, this is awesome. Brett's awesome. And the thing about our sponsors is we know them personally.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just people that are paying us to shout them out on the show.
We've worked with them. We've had an interaction with them. Brett's come here. He's taught workshop here.
We know them. We can stand by them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I don't know about you, Paul, but it's my goal for this show is to only have sponsors that we can legit.
It would be great.
Stand behind. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, totally. That's an aspiration.
Unless they're like, we'll give you. Only like,
yeah, of course. I mean,
okay.
Money talks,
right?
But seriously, though, I love the fact that the people paying for this show are people that we know.
Yeah.
And that they really support the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And of course, if you want to come check us out, we offer services too. Breakfall Studios.
That's right. We do.
Yeah.
We have a full-on, almost complete training facility.
Whatever that means.
Well, no, I'm saying, like our rigging stuff, we have
Listen, we have the space. You can see it behind us.
Yeah.
We are in Midtown Manhattan, which is oftentimes more convenient for performers flying to New York to be on a production. Like the stages might be out in Brooklyn or wherever, but the hotels are oftentimes in Manhattan, right? So we are in Midtown Manhattan. You can rent our space for rehearsals, for practice. If you need actors that need to be trained, we can do that. If you need some choreography, we can do that. We do have all the basic equipment you'll need here with crash pads and 8-inchers and scaffolds and prop weapons and all that stuff, and a mat to fall on.
Oh, yeah. The most important thing of all.
Yeah, totally, man. So, yeah, hit us up. We're at Breakfall Stunts on Instagram, or you can email us here at the show, fightingwithfriendspod@gmail.com. And if you have inquiry, let us know.
Mm-hmm.
We'd love to work with you. We would. Wouldn't you?
I would. I'd like to work with everybody.
Yeah.
Until
we get that email from that one person, we're like, I don't want to work with that dude.
No, not again. Not again.
Yeah, totally.
Not again. It's like, do we respond? Like, how do we navigate this?
Too busy right now. My schedule's full.
Sorry, I got a thing.
No. But seriously, though, we love everybody who supports us. If you follow us on social media, at Fights with Friends Pod, pretty much everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like us, subscribe us, whether you're listening to us on iHeartRadio or
follow
Spotify
subscribe.
Or Apple or whatever. Review, like, love, hearts, emoticons,
thumbs up,
comments, thumbs up, whatever.
Let us know you love us.
Yeah, totally. And actually on IMDb too. You can review us on IMDb, and that actually helps us get up into the SEO algorithms, for searches.
If you want, let us know you hate us. We like a good laugh.
Yeah, sure. We'll read bad reviews.
We'll read bad reviews.
I'll definitely read a bad review.
Great.
Now watch, I'm going to write a bad review just so Steve will read it.
Well, then we have to figure out who it is, because it's probably going to be somebody we know fucking with us.
Who is Fluffy Bunny? Actually, we know who Fluffy Bunny is. Yeah, Fluffy Bunny of Doom. Steven, we know you.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my gosh. So, we asked people on our socials to send in questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And that we would answer it. And we told them, we don't care what the question is. We'll answer it.
We're answering.
No matter how.
So our first question is actually really funny.
Yeah. Oh, this is so funny.
You can actually.
I'll go with it.
This is good.
Okay. So this is from Monica Howard. Okay. She's a stunt performer. I think she's out in LA. And she hit us up on Instagram. And she first hit me up well, not me, but she wrote to the Instagram and said, any question? And I'm like, yeah, get creative. Go for it. And I'm thinking like, she's going to hit us up with some real film nerd history shit. Mm. And her question is, so what's your go-to protein snack? Mm. It's like when you're working out. And I'm like, okay, we'll answer it. Is that your question? She goes, well, I'm at the gym and I'm really hungry right now. And that's what I thought of. So listen here. Here's the deal. Here's my answer. And then Paul will give his answer. Monica, I am less interested in fitness stuff like that than I should be probably, but I do take vital proteins. And by the way, I'm not giving health advice or this is just what I do. Could be the worst thing in the world, but what I do is I definitely take vital proteins, collagen peptides. For me, that's done wonders for my joints. And in terms of other stuff that I take all the stuff that most people take, my omegas. Mm-hmm. I take turmeric. I take that older guy multivitamin, and
same stuff.
Yeah. And Wobe enzyme. I take Wobe enzyme, which is a natural supplement for your joints too. Mm. So that's pretty much what I do. I don't have the go-to protein snack that I'll take I'm
not much of a snacker
at the gym.
I just don't eat. No. I don't like to eat and train.
No. If anything, I'll do like what Paul does. I'll do the powdered Pedialyte if I'm really feeling down after a workout, like energetically, or there's liquid IV. I'll take that. But
I like to parabolic whey protein in the morning. So like a slow muscle release, like a 7-hour slow muscle release. That's kind of how I start my day.
Right.
Or if I'm going to like train for a while, because again, I don't like to snack. So
yeah,
I'll do like a slow muscle release, like parabolic whey protein. That's usually my go-to.
Cool. And you also take collagen peptides, right?
Yeah. I take everything you take. All the omegas, all the.
Listen, I'll give props. Like the first person that suggested peptides to me was Doc Duhame when I was working on Ray Donovan. He was like, yo, do you take collagen peptides?
And I started taking the turmeric when you mentioned it, and that shit helps too.
Yeah. So that is our answer to your question, Monica. Thank you for sending it in. It's not a question we expected, but it's definitely a good one.
Yeah, for sure.
Got us talking. Mm-hmm. And next time, I would suggest, maybe not looking at Instagram while you're at the gym working. Working out. That's funny. So what's the next question, Paul?
The next question,
which is what we're going to focus on, right? For basically
this kind of brings us into the episode. This is a good question, and it's from our friend Randall Trang.
Yeah,
and Randall asked, "What is your favorite movie with terrible action, and what is your favorite action sequence in a terrible movie?"
Dude, such a great question.
It's one of those questions where like I think Steve and I came up with our answers very quickly, but then we were just like, ooh,
yeah.
Oh, so
and it's really tough.
Yeah,
it's really tough because there are some very like I rewatched a lot of movies I hadn't seen in a while this week to answer this question.
Yes, me too.
And I had some really interesting reactions rewatching it as we'll talk about these films.
I felt like I just added more movies into some of the movies I already watch every week because there were two. Yeah. There were like two of these movies that I watch every week.
So do you want to go first? Which movie are you going to do first?
Okay. Well, I also thought it was interesting that for one of our answers, we both picked a movie with the same actor.
Oh, that's true. Without coordinating, we both picked a Burt Reynolds movie.
Yes, we both picked a Burt Reynolds movie for great movie, bad action.
Yes. And by the way, that's why we have this original vintage Cannonball Run Matchbox car set.
You're welcome.
On the table here. We have a ton of shit on the table here to match the films that we're going to talk about today, but we do have this Burt Reynolds Cannonball. I'm going to hold it up for the camera.
Those are actually 4 cars that were in the movie The Cannonball Run. And this is the original Cannonball Run, not Cannonball Run 2, guys.
No, yeah, this is the original. Dom DeLuise, Roger Moore, Farrah Fawcett.
I mean, the sequel is absolutely hilarious.
It is not one of the movies, though, that we picked.
It's not.
It's only on the table because it's the only sort of nostalgia, collectible Burt Reynolds related thing that I have.
So there are a few. So basically, my movie for great movie, worst action, I picked Heat with Burt Reynolds.
Yes.
I love this movie when I was a kid. It was one of those movies that was kind of grown up, but I would watch it with my dad because it wasn't That, it was like, the special effects, like nothing about it was super.
He came out in 1986.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1986. So it was also in that weird era of Burt Reynolds movies.
It was sort of like after the Burt Reynolds heyday.
Yeah.
Right? It was after the Smokey and the Bandits and the Cannonball Runs and the Hoopers.
But I mean, this movie, the action in it it's so bad.
Yes.
Can
I say one thing?
Yeah, of course.
At least for me,
yeah,
the stunts in it are awesome.
Yes,
like the fire burns, the wrecks,
Great.
The car chases,
awesome.
The fights,
terrible.
Yeah,
I mean, he is supposed to be. The premise of this movie, right, is he plays this guy named Nick Escalante. By the way, Burt Reynolds is playing a Mexican guy,
yes,
which is also freaking hilarious. His tan is top notch.
Yeah.
I would also just like to give another shout out to I believe it was Fred Ward when he was cast as Abdullah in Delta Force as the main bad guy. His tan was killer in that too.
Yes.
So
Fred Ward, rest in peace, Fred Ward.
Yes.
And Burt Reynolds.
Yeah. So he's supposed to be a specialist with edged weapons.
Yeah.
Now, just hearing that,
he's like a washed up special forces guy.
Yeah.
Who's basically making a living,
degenerate gambler.
Yes, he's in debt from gambling.
And he's making, money and doing odd jobs, but like odd tough guy jobs. So like the opening scene, he's playing a guy and he's hitting on a girl who's there with someone. And the guy, you find out that the guy paid him to let him kick the shit out of him. So he looks good in front of his girl.
Yep. That's Peter McNichol, by the way, the actor.
Yes.
Playing that
rich
kid. He's
outside
awesome.
of Burt Reynolds, he threw the best punches in the movie.
But he's so funny in this movie.
Yes.
And for those that don't know, he went on to like Ally McBeal. Mm-hmm. He was in Veep. He became a big thing.
No. Peter McNichol was his friend. He was not the guy in the opening scene. That was a different guy.
That Peter McNichol wasn't the one. Oh, that's right.
The opening scene. The opening scene was the
fake
when
out.
He was hitting. Yes. Yeah. That guy threw the best punches.
Yeah.
He threw great punches. I'm sure if I looked it up, I should have, but he's a stunt guy.
Oh, it probably is. He's probably a Stunts Unlimited guy or something.
But I will say that like in the opening scene, so the opening scene, right, or that, which was great.
Stan Barrett was the stunt coordinator on this.
Stan Barrett, yes. Yeah. And there was, this scene when he takes these guys out in the hotel, right? Takes out 2 bodyguards and then beats the shit out of this main guy. And he kicks this one guy, like 6 times? It's a kick to the groin, and then 6 of those weird, the side kicks.
The kicks that people throw when they don't know how to kick?
But they're the ones with the hayas.
Yeah.
And he throws like 6 of them. Like literally it was 6 of them. And then he kicks the other guy in the knee, and when he kicks him in the knee, his knee just explode. Like like how do you get so much blood?
It was almost like I was like, is this a comedy?
Yes.
Like he kicks the guy in the knee, and the guy has a compound fracture with the bone sticking out.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's totally crazy.
And
there's this weird slow-mo.
Oh, the
freeze frames.
I call it the $6 million man slow-mo.
Yeah, totally.
Because that's exactly what it was like.
Yep.
And I think it was just so Burt Reynolds could do his own stunts.
Yeah, maybe.
Because from safe places.
Yeah.
Like there's the scene when he did the jump off of the.
It's a chase. There's a chase going on through that factory.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like a fast walk chase, and he does like he jumps off this shipping container.
Yeah.
Right
yeah.
onto the sand pile.
Yeah.
And they slowed it down, and oh my God, this is one of the funniest jumps ever, and you can tell it was Burt Reynolds.
Oh, it's totally Burt. I actually freeze framed on a lot of this stuff to see if it was Burt.
But I mean, you could just see it was like they slowed it down. They shot it from an upward angle. It was like 2.5 feet.
Yeah, but let me dial it back a minute. Why do you love this movie? Like, I don't want to just. Okay, so why is this one of your movies that you love? Even if the action's bad.
So the reason I love this movie is because of actually the character that Burt Reynolds played is just a guy, right? And for me, it was the master of edge weapons. And in the opening scene, when he takes out those first 3 guards, the first thing he did was slice the guard across the face, and then he threw his pimp chain right, at the other guy.
Okay, so but you have to explain, like, so people who didn't see this, he's the reason he has a pimp chain on.
Yes.
Right? So he goes into this hotel suite. Basically, this rich guy got a hooker.
Yeah.
And dude, I was actually surprised at how graphic they were.
Yeah.
With describing what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like this,
my dad would plug my ears.
They describe how trigger warning, no pun intended.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see why. But they rape her with a gun.
Yeah.
And they sends her to the hospital, and she gets stitches in her vaginal area, and like it's just like they're just so openly just talking about it. And then so Burt Reynolds knows her from, you know, they're in Las Vegas. This takes place in Las Vegas. So he goes to the hotel suite dressed like a pimp.
Like a pimp.
To exact revenge for her. So this is the scene. So now take it over. He's got this big medallion chain on.
So he's got a big medallion chain on. He's got a credit card somewhere. And his bodyguards are like big, you know, bodybuilder type.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you got the small little guy. So the way the scene is set up is the first guy is the kneecap that we were talking about. He hits the guy with the kneecap. And then he takes the credit card and with a plastic credit card, he slices across a guy's face.
Yeah. Slices his face open.
And slices his face open with a plastic credit card, like across his eyes. So he goes down. And then he takes the medallion pimp chain that he's got around his neck and he throws it at the other guy.
Like a frisbee.
Like a frisbee. Right? Like a ninja star almost.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
A throwing star. And hits the guy in his lip. And then somehow it busts his lip open.
Yeah.
But so that was and then he throws the 7 or 8 terrible kicks.
Yeah.
To take out the other guy. And that's pretty much this scene. Now, that is the only scene in the entire movie where a master of edged weapons picks up an edged weapon and uses it.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the deal is before that happens, we don't yet know that he's a master of edged weapons.
We don't
know that yet.
Right. Because eventually the guy who he just beat the shit out of, right? He's
like a rich mob kid.
He's like a rich mob kid, and he ends up killing his 2 bodyguards.
Yeah.
And then goes and tells his dad or whatever that Burt Reynolds was the murderer and killed the bodyguards. So then they send the mob after him, and then it's, you know, basically you can see where the movie goes.
Yeah, they bring Burt to the big boss, and he's like, the kid is there accusing him, and Burt's like, you know, the mob boss knows his son is probably a fuck up, and he also knows Burt.
Well, this is an intermediary. It's not the mob boss's father.
Right, but the guy that he's talking to, the boss he's talking to.
Yeah, and then basically the guy just tells the kid to shut up.
Yeah.
And is like, okay, you fucked up. You fucked with the wrong guy. Like,
it's a little bit of a John Wick kind of thing.
He's like, basically nobody cares. He's like, get over it.
Well, but he tells, because, we forgot to say, like, so Burt Reynolds in the hotel suite ties the kid up, remember? On the floor. Yes. And then calls the prostitute in and she cuts the guy's penis
she nips it with the snippers.
With, like trimming scissor shear things from gardening, like gardening shears. Right. So I thought she cut it off. I thought she didn't cut it off. But anyway, so now Burt's in with the mob boss, and the mob boss tells the kid to shut up. He's like, Burt, you tell me what happened. Because after the kid told his whole story, and Burt is just like, well, I'm just going to ask you 2 questions. 1, why would I shoot anybody? And then the mob boss is like, that's right.
It's the perfect cover.
Yeah. Why would I shoot anybody? I'm an expert of edged weapons. Mm-hmm. You know, that's the first time that we learn about the expert of edged weapons thing. And then he goes, the second question is, basically he goes, how do I know that this kid has a big, cut down his penis right now? He tells the kid to take his pants down. And
then the kid won't take his pants down. And then the dad's like, the
guy
is
just like knows that it's all
he knows it's all bullshit. So then the rest of the movie is the kid takes it upon himself to now go and try and kill Nick.
Burt. Yeah.
So that's basically the premise of the movie. It's just, I mean, as a kid, like, you know.
But then the sub arc is this rich young guy,
which is my
McNichol,
which is the part that I really love.
So he basically lies, right? And he's this rich young guy who's a millionaire.
He's like a tech guy.
Yeah, he's a tech guy.
Yeah.
And he's hired Burt to teach him how to be tough. basically.
Yep. And he's going around and he bets, and he thinks he's a compulsive gambler and he has a problem.
He goes, I have a problem.
So like, and literally you're like, okay.
down
and it's like, how much do you bet? And he's like, oh, I bet like $10, $25 a hand. And at this, and everyone kind of just, the two guys in the room, they all looked at it. They're like, is this guy?
Yeah.
They're like, this guy, you need to humor him. So they were like, oh, okay. We'll,
yeah.
And then it was great. It was like, there was a scene when he was in the casino and he was happy because he was like betting $10 a hand and he was thinking he was betting all big.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm leaving.
Oh, little side story. So when he finally owns up to Burt to say, hey, this is why I really hired you, because I want to learn how to be a tough guy.
Yes.
And they're sitting on that bridge in old, like Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Right behind them is the Golden Gate, like hotel. That is where I first met my mother-in-law.
Whoa.
Yeah. Because I was like, Chris, my wife, is from there. She goes, oh, that's where you met mom.
Oh, that's great. And that's not even there anymore, right?
I think that's still there, but most of the stuff in that film is gone.
Right?
Yeah. Most of it's gone.
When I was watching them run through Vegas, and I was like, all the construction sites and just all of the open deserts, like across from the big hotels.
That's one of the things that's great about the movie. Is like they're running across train tracks, right? And I said I was watching it with Chris, and I was like, train tracks? She goes, oh yeah, there used to be, because she was born and raised there. She's like, there used to be train tracks and a train that you could take a train into the Strip.
Wow.
Back in the day.
Wow. I didn't know.
She goes, that's all gone now. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So
crazy.
Anyways, as we continue through the movie, no more action except until you get to the chase.
Yeah, the final end when the young mobster kid catches up with him.
And then the Peter McNichol, right? They is with him at one point.
Yeah.
So they get trapped together, and they got, like all movies in the 80s, they had the mini Uzi.
They had like all these, they had the mini Uzi.
They love the mini Uzi.
It's almost like somebody went to a swap meet for guns and was like, we're going to buy a gun from every era known to man and just throw them all together. And
then, so they run in, and then Burt Reynolds is about to get shot. Peter McNichol jumps in front of him and takes two of the biggest fucking squib shots, center mass to the chest, that there's no way anyone has ever, like, one of them hit him in the fucking heart and the other one hit him like in the like, there's no way you're coming back from that.
But he does. Of course.
But he does. He's in the hospital, and he's, and he's sitting there, he's laughing. And then at the end, they take the crew to fucking Venice and shoot a shot in Venice in a boat, because that's where he was trying to go and get all the money to go.
Yeah.
Like, it was just so like, okay.
No green screens in 86.
No green screens in 86. We want to shoot. We got to show him in Venice. We're going to Venice.
The closing credits need to be him in a gondola in Venice.
Yeah. And I just love the movie so much as a kid, because it's just like, he was just a tough guy, man, and he fucking made out.
So, dude, one of the coolest in this movie, right? One of the worst kicks, but one of the coolest fire burns
was when he set the guy on fire.
Yeah, they're chasing him through this concrete factory or like a cinder block factory or something. And he's hiding, and he throws gasoline on this one guy. And the guy's standing underneath like a light bulb. And Burt Reynolds does a flying, like, jumping snap kick.
So imagine, think about this. Think about the crane kick, but you don't switch your legs. You just kick with the bent leg in the front.
Yeah.
And then jump.
Yeah.
That's what he did. Like, I don't even know how he got so high, but
over the guy's head,
but what's funny is his foot never actually got to the height of the light bulb.
But the light bulb shatters.
The light bulb shatters.
And the electrical shit falls on the guy and sets him on fire.
After he was covered in gasoline, and it sets him on fire, which was pretty awesome.
The fire burn was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a crazy fire burn. Like full body burn, like the guy was up in flames.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the flying sidekick, oh my God.
But that's it. So you've got this, in my opinion, this great story, this great guy who should be going around Vegas, kicking the shit at every guy that comes in the door.
Yeah.
And you get two, I'll say 1.5 fights and a chase scene.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And not once. Oh, there was one scene when he took a knife and he flipped it upside down and he made it look like he was going to throw it, and he didn't.
This is when he was in his apartment, right?
Yeah. Otherwise, no edged weapons in this movie.
Oh no,
whatsoever.
it was when he's in the office or something, and McNichol comes in and kind of surprises him, and he has the knife in his hand.
Yeah,
and then he realizes, oh no, it's just my buddy. Yeah. He never uses he never cuts anybody.
Not a one. Such a great premise.
Except American Express card.
Right when he
don't
slices
leave
the
him
guy across his eyes.
Yeah, totally. Dude. But you know what? You see, watching movies like that, I was saying before, like rewatching these movies, it was so much fun for the nostalgia of it.
I didn't want I almost wanted to take back
your choice?
My choice, but I didn't because I was like, you know what? I'm basing this on from what I watched when I was a kid and what I remember.
Yeah.
And I don't want to like take that away.
Also, what is sort of what's considered passable for fights now is not what was considered passable.
Not even close
back then. So looking at it with a current lens is kind of.
But I will say that in the movie, every time Burt Reynolds threw hands, he looked great.
Oh yeah, his hands are awesome.
His hands were awesome. His hands were great.
Yeah, totally.
Looked like he knew how to throw a punch. I mean, his hands were great.
Yeah.
Kicks. Whew.
Yeah, totally.
Now you picked up Burt. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like, we're going to lead into my Burt Reynolds movie, but I was going to say, like, he works with a lot of the same people over and over again. Obviously, a lot of Stunts Unlimited guys, like legends. What's his name? The stunt coordinator, Stan Barrett, had coordinated the TV show Hawk back in the day, like 60s. That was like Burt's first leading role in a TV show. So they've been working together forever.
Yeah.
Right. So this was 86. I picked for a movie that I liked that the action was not good. And again, specifically the fights were not good.
The fights, just the fight, like the fights, like, because again,
action is sort of a generic term, but I'm focusing on fights.
Opening scene when, and well, we didn't even say your movie yet, so
no,
I don't want to ruin it.
No, but so my movie is Shamus, 1973, Burt Reynolds, Diane Cannon. I love this movie. Old New York, shot on location in Old New York. You figure it premiered in 73, so it's probably shot in like 72. That you can see the World Trade Center.
Yep. Not
completed yet. It's a really cool, like, kind of like what we're talking about, the old Vegas. Like, it's all this location stuff. There's a scene where he's in an apartment building on the east side looking over the East River, like towards where I live. And it's nothing. It's just like flat land.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Junkyards.
Yeah, totally. I'm like, wow, that's Long Island City in 72. It's a really cool thing. But so Shamus is my movie, and it's in a way it has a similar theme, right? This one, he's a private investigator. He's a PI, but he's washed up. He sleeps on a pool table. He's a pool player, which is ironic because the opening scene of Heat has him playing pool.
Yes.
Right. And the opening scene of Shamus, he wakes up in the morning to the phone ringing, and it turns out his bed is a pool table in his apartment. And I just love that scene. He wakes up, he's got the hot girl like next to him, the phone's ringing, and he's got a little basket suspended over his bed.
Oh, I love that. He pulls the string down and he answers the phone.
And the phone is in the basket, and it just lowers to him, and he just answers the phone. It's so good, right? And again, it's like a, it's similar story. He gets hired for this job, and then he gets caught up in this.
Yeah, but I was going to say before that, the opening scene is
the fire burn.
Like,
dude,
this crazy.
Yes.
So yeah, go for it.
No, you do it.
I mean, so I hadn't seen
this is a differentiation, say, between action and fights.
Yes,
because this scene was
this
awesome.
Is action, not a fight, and this was pretty amazing. So basically, it's a robbery, and this guy in a full-on fire suit.
Yep.
Right. So the apartment just goes up.
They come in through like a skylight,
and they come in through a skylight in a fire suit while the room is completely engulfed in flames.
They just like flamethrower the shit out of this guy.
There is not a surface that's not on fire.
Yeah.
And then this guy breaks into a safe and robs the safe and leaves.
Yeah, it's like jewel thieves.
That was amazing because it was all done.
That's real.
That was real.
That's real.
Insane.
Yes. Dude, the stunt coordinator was legendary Glenn Wilder, one of the founders of Stunts Unlimited. Right?
Who was the guy in the suit?
That's a good question.
Who was the guy in the suit? Because you could even tell just by the way that he was moving.
Yeah.
That it was fucking hot and he needed to get this done.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there was so much realism because of it was fucking real.
Yeah.
Like that scene was insane.
Dude, those are the days, right?
What an amazing, and you go through all of the intricate fucking safe cracking. They're all great.
While the room's on fire. And it's just insane.
Yeah. And do it for real.
Yep.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, totally, man. So that's the setup, right? So that's the caper that he needs to solve.
At least in the beginning and the end of the movie.
Yeah. There's like everything. It twists and turns.
Put it this way. It's a good thing he was a private detective because he had a lot of shit to detect.
Yeah, totally. But I remember so there's this fight scene where, they catch him at his apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like you watch this, dude, and this is again, like I'll just say this, like not meaning any disrespect to anybody or anything, but it's like what was permissible then and now, two different things, right? So the guy, he gets taken into his apartment at knife point by the bad guys, and he's in the apartment. Another like arm break type of thing, just kind of like the knee, not as bloody as the knee in Heat. And then he does this really bad round kick to the guy's midsection. Mm-hmm. Like just these two movies alone, he does another hi-ya. Yeah, you got to ask yourself, who lets Burt Reynolds kick things? Like he just can't kick. He can punch like a motherfucker. That guy can punch.
Dude, he's got hands, man.
So he kicks this guy who flies backwards through and crashes. He does a wreck into the kitchen table that shatters. It was like the guy was like Frankenstein. It just like stiffen up, like no reactions. Like it was like literally, if I did a reaction like that now, I would never get hired again.
I know what you mean, but yeah,
I wouldn't. But it was cool. Like those days, like the John Wayne days, like you can just do like, the John Wayne punches and stuff.
Well, I mean, you know, it's like they talk about the Big Miss and the Godfather.
Yeah.
You know, when Sonny's punching the Connie's husband for beating her in the garbage can, and like he misses him by like a good fucking 6 inches in front of his face, and they're like, yeah, whatever.
But what I love about the movie, though, even though the fights were terrible, what I love about the movie is sort of that old New York, the noir feel of the private investigator, going against this sea of things just working against him to solve this crime, and he keeps going deeper and deeper into this rabbit hole of bad shit. It's just such a fun movie, and it's classic.
Some insane shit, though.
Yeah, it's classic Burt.
The military weapons.
Oh yeah,
like it was crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it went deep into this whole arms dealing,
and then it went back to the diamonds.
Then it went back to the diamonds.
You're like, shit, we forgot about the diamonds.
Yep, but it's classic Burt Reynolds, and I just love watching it. I think, again, like I just love the nostalgia of it. Like, I don't care that the fights are bad or that some of the action is kind of cheesy. Like, I don't care. I just really enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so much fun. Like, and like, you watch these movies now, there's dialogue that you can never get away with now. Things that they say, jokes that they make that.
Oh yeah. The scene with the glasses was great.
Just tons of stuff that people say that you're like, wow, you'd never be able to say that now. But if you accept it as a timepiece, it's just so enjoyable.
Yeah.
And Burt's just great, man. His charisma is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And this is like 1973 Burt Reynolds. Like fucking good. Like you can see both of these movies for free on YouTube, by the way. So anybody who's really interested should just watch Shamus and watch Heat. And they are kind of similar.
They are. They're. That's why I thought it was really funny.
Yeah,
like, oh.
It's really funny, like that. There are these two washed-up guys in their professions who get hired because they're washed-up guys in their professions, who get dragged into this big mess, and then save the day at the end.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? By the way, did you notice in Heat? Because I think most people listening to this, or maybe not, but most people know that Burt Reynolds was a stuntman. He was very supportive of the stunt community. Stunts Unlimited member, was Hal Needham's roommate. I mean, he's so connected, right? Like even Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is loosely based. Like that relationship is based on Hal Needham and Burt Reynolds. And Hal, of course, is one of the other founders of Stunts Unlimited with Glenn Wilder. And what was my point?
I'm like Hal Needham.
Hal Needham.
Cannonball Run.
Cannonball Run. Oh yeah, he directed Cannonball Run
1 and 2.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot my point, but I was going to say the two movies, they're free on YouTube, and oh yeah, I remember. So Burt did most of his own stunts, at least in the earlier years, right? And when I was watching Heat, I looked up. I was like, man, his jaw looks weird.
Oh, that's right.
It was like crooked. Right?
Hit with the chair, right?
So I looked it up and I was like, okay, the movie that he made right before this one was with Clint Eastwood. It was called City Heat, right? First day of shooting, he got hit in the face with a metal chair that completely fucked up his jaw.
I'm like, who the fuck did that?
Yeah, right. And he was, well, we can watch the movie. I'm sure they used it, right? And he was on a liquid diet, lost a ton of weight, and his jaw was messed up. He started taking painkillers, which was sort of exacerbating a problem he had with that. And this movie was like 2 years later, and you could see his jaw was different. It was like definitely a little crooked. Had to be from the city getting hit in the face.
And having his jaw wired shut, probably.
Yeah. Terrible. Speaking of doing your own stunts, like at the end of Shamus, he's getting chased through this mansion, right? And the mansion is like built on a sort of a hill. So the front of the mansion would be like, let's say, street level. The back of the mansion is like, let's say 20 feet up.
Right.
And there's a stone wall down into like a wooded area, like kind of like a ledge. Right. So he's being chased, and this is actually him. This is not a stunt double or anything. Although stunt legend, Charlie Pacini was in this movie. You could see him all over the movie.
Friends with Charlie on Facebook.
Yeah, totally. He's always posting like cool pictures of making Italian food,
awesome.
Cooking Italian food and stuff. And he did, I think, double uncredited Burt on some things in this movie. But that scene where Burt is being chased, he jumps off the ledge to land on a tree that was supposed to, and I heard Charlie tell this story on another podcast.
Oh, cool.
And if I'm quoting it wrong, I'm sorry, Charlie, but this is just what I remember. But Burt jumped on, it was supposed to, hang onto a branch and climb down the tree or whatever. But the branch broke and he landed on his head and got up and kept running, but fractured a whole bunch of vertebrae and stuff like that. And if you watch the movie, that is the scene. That is the scene they used.
Wow.
It's in the trailer of the movie too. You can see it. I mean, talk about getting hurt and keep going.
Right.
That dude fell like 25 feet, landed on his neck, got up and kept going, like gonna keep going.
That's crazy.
But Burt Reynolds definitely beat himself up for the industry, for the craft, for sure. But dude, great movies. And for the we have an honorable mention though in that category. For a good movie, bad action. Yes.
And you'll notice.
I didn't quite agree with you, but then I rewatched it yesterday. We'll discuss.
Okay.
This is your honorable mention.
So my honorable mention for a great movie with bad action, and I'm telling you, I fucking love this movie. I watch it once a week, but the action is terrible. Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
I mean,
we got Rain over here.
I got my
and a signed Lopan.
My signed Lopan by James Hong.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I love
and we got Pliskin just because it's
and Snake because it's John Carpenter.
Because it's Carpenter and Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
But
yeah, man, like I love Big Trouble in Little China. It's like one of the anchors of any action martial arts.
Anytime you see someone with a woman with green eyes, what do you think of?
Big Trouble in Little China. I mean, it is, but the action is so terrible. The fights are like, when you watch it and you think Big Trouble in Little China, and then you go back and you watch it, they're like, there's really not much kung fu that's actually good in this movie.
Yeah.
Like the scene when he's fighting the two women with the staffs at the end and the smoke coming out of it.
Yeah.
She's literally just swinging the staff back and forth.
Yeah.
I mean, there is nothing.
So I feel and this is all fresh in my mind because I just watched it last night.
Yeah.
I love that movie. And the very first fight sequence, I mean, in the alley when the truck is there and you got the two gang, like that fight sequence was awesome. There was real martial arts going on in there. And James Liu was the fight coordinator on this.
But it was everything in the background.
Well,
that fight was great but the majority of the fighting that you saw was happening behind everything.
No, even the close-ups. I think.
I guess I'm talking about when the actors were the mains were on screen. Like a lot of the great fighting was behind until then they were showing the two gangs fighting, and then those inserts were great.
Yeah. The gang fighting stuff was awesome.
Yes, but I guess what I'm trying to say is when the fighting or the action in the movie was not great.
I think it's when they introduced the supernatural stuff.
Well, then
because that's when the fight started getting cheesy.
That's yes, exactly. And
when they were flying through the air and like just
so the whole end of the movie, right, was just a little, I just wanted more of the kung fu that I knew was around at that time to help. There was just no movement. There was no.
So here's my question. Like
I don't know. I
have to go back because I have the DVD right here. For those youngins.
Yeah.
This DVD has commentary with Carpenter and Russell. So I want to go back and watch it again with commentary. Yeah. I haven't done it in years.
And they could have done it on purpose.
Well, this is my question. Like the movie itself is by design cheesy.
Yes.
So I feel like the action was by design cheesy. You know what I mean?
But that's it's a common thing. But just because it was by design cheesy doesn't mean it's a great movie with bad action. That means it's literally what it is. It's a great movie with bad action.
So are you amending? Are you saying it was intentionally bad action?
It's still bad.
Yes, but I'm asking you.
Oh, I'm not saying
when you threw it up as honorable mention.
So hold on. I'm not throwing out this honorable mention because I think they made the action bad because the actors didn't know how. I'm actually saying it was bad because I know the people that are behind the screen and what they can do.
Yeah.
And it drives me fucking nuts.
Like, dude, James
Liu not doing it
is one of the reasons I fucking love this business from Best of the Best.
So I guess I came across wrong as in saying I think that I
might have assumed.
I wanted more from Big Trouble in Little China, as in the action in it didn't give me enough.
Yeah.
And I knew the people were in it and the caliber of what they had to offer, and not seeing that upsets me. And especially now to this day, because a lot of these people are still players.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when I go back and I watch that and I watch these guys who I know are great at kung fu and all of the, and not to see that kind of upsets me.
I get it. I guess the reason why it was, I don't know what the word I want to say, but the two movies you just talked about, the Burt Reynolds one, the fights were not bad intentionally. They were actually bad.
Okay, I see what
you know
what
I mean?
Right.
And then so you were like, Big Trouble in Little China. I think they were intentionally not good. Or I should say not technical or cheesy or whatever you want to call it.
No, I get that, but it still falls in the category of a great movie with bad fights, because because they didn't intentionally, that means that they they were probably twice as bad as they meant as
No, I
you know what I mean?
What if the intent was for the viewer to be like, "Oh my god, that's so cheesy." Then it's actually a good fight because it achieved what it wanted.
Okay, that's true.
I don't know.
I guess that's a good way to that's a good way to put
We're
it.
debating.
No,
I don't know. We're not debating.
It's a good way to put it, but I just think if you take it as in a context of the black and white of the statement, good movie, bad action, it fits the category.
I guess. Maybe. I don't know.
That's all. I'm just being objective about about the movie as a whole. Like, I know it's a great movie.
If it's not bad, if it was supposed to be bad, then it's good. That's my thing. It's like, so I like when I watch Shamus, I'm like, man, that was bad.
Right.
Yes. You know what I mean? And then I watch Big Trouble in Little China. I'm like, that's fucking great. Even though I know it's like the not technically great. I don't know. Hey, listeners,
like
let us know what you think.
Like, look, the scene when the three storms, right? They're doing their
thunder, rain, and lightning.
Thunder, rain, and lightning, and low pan is they put the fucking swords together and the girls go up, right, and all that shit, and then they're going down and they're doing this and they're doing the walk and they're all doing their martial arts stuff.
Yeah. But this is like Carpenter. Okay, like so take like They Live, another Carpenter classic, and everybody talks about the fight from They Live.
Yes,
great fucking fight.
Yes.
But not technically a great fight.
Yeah.
Cheesy fight, but fucking great fight.
Yep.
That's how I look at the Big Trouble in Little China action.
Oof. I mean, that's a tough comparison. But.
No, I mean in the sense that they didn't shoot the They Live fight to be like this, like anything more than a long, cheesy, drawn out, like this would, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They meant it to be cheesy, and we look at it and say it's great.
No, I get it, but I think but again, I'm not breaking down the semantics of the question. I'm looking at it as just.
I know what you're saying. I just think you can't do that. I mean, you can do it.
Well,
you can do whatever the fuck you want.
I fucking did, bro.
I think.
So you're saying that you can consider it to be a good movie.
No, what I'm saying is
a good movie with bad action if they mean to do the action on purpose.
Yes, I'm Siskel, you're Ebert. I'm saying it's great action because they intended it to be cheesy.
Okay.
And they achieved their intent, and it's great.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I see your point.
Yeah.
But I still think it's a great movie with bad action.
And on that, we move on to... I'll do my next choice. This was the flip side, right? This is the bad movie, good action. Mm-hmm. And immediately my choice was Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
I can't fucking argue with that, man.
Yeah.
That movie is just a hard watch when there is no action going on.
Dude. So, like, I rewatched it, and I had to force myself to finish it. It's like, and so, God. I think I view it even worse now than I did before. In terms of like being a bad movie, because I remember, right?
The Gungans are so bad.
I mean, there's so many bad things about it. Watto, the little flying guy, so racist,
super racist.
The Gungans, they sound like for those who watch The Expanse, they sound like the Belters, except if they were dumber, right? So. It's just so terrible. But when this movie first came out, I was like every Star Wars fan. There hadn't been a new Star Wars movie in over a decade. Everybody was so excited, right? Was it 96 it came out? And what was the last one? Return of the Jedi was like what, 84?
Honorable mention 86? Just so that you want to know how excited they made a movie on it called Fanboys. You want to see how excited the world was when it was coming out? Go watch fucking Fanboys. Yeah, that's the way we all were.
We were so excited. I remember I got tickets for opening day in the middle of the night because they were doing screenings round the clock. And at that time I was working at Maimonides Medical Center. And I went.
This was when you wanted tickets. You had to wait online.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got tickets. I went to see it. I was so disappointed, like everybody, except that the nostalgia meant something at that time because I was like, oh man, this movie is really bad. But it was great to see Tatooine. It was great to see like Anthony Daniels playing.
Some of it was great.
Well, yeah.
Some of it was because
the political,
again,
I love the political stuff, the whole Palpatine, Trade Federation, the building of the Empire. The political intrigue thing I loved. obviously, we could talk forever about the bad acting, about Mannequin Skywalker.
Now, did you also know that the original bad guy was not supposed to be Palpatine?
Oh, really? I didn't know.
Yeah, I forget who it was supposed to be, but it was supposed to be another Sith Lord, and they decided that it needed to be more familiar.
Oh, interesting.
So, enter Palpatine.
I mean, it was great.
That
great.
Part, I thought that part was awesome. I thought it was like that was the saving goodness.
I know. Like, okay, here's another thing. Like, we can be objective. Jake Lloyd, terrible. That kid was terrible as Anakin, right? But
I hate to say it because he went through such shit because of it. But it's like Hayden Christensen went through the same thing. Mm-hmm. But you go back and you watch it now, and I'm like, fuck, he was really good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think Hayden Christensen was a bad actor. I thought he played an awesome psychopath.
And what I feel about Anakin,
but that kid was like in way over his head.
Can you imagine the pressure?
That's what I mean.
I
felt like he was just
a legion of fans waiting for this,
but look at who you're working with.
Well, and Lucas, yeah.
Look at who you're working with.
I mean, let's be real.
Look at who he's got to hold the scenes with.
The best Star Wars movie up until that point was Empire Strikes Back, and it was the one that Lucas didn't direct.
And the kid never acted before. Not only that, could you imagine?
No, he did act before.
Well,
he was in Jingle All the Way. He was a kid. He was just doing kid parts.
But like, can you? I guess when I say never acted in something like that, it was
he was a lead.
Like being a lead, but being a lead and having to hold scenes on your own when you're looking at nothing.
Yeah.
Like when he's driving.
Oh, you mean the green screen stuff?
The green screen stuff.
Yeah.
That's got to be so hard on someone that doesn't have that seasoned ability to. I guess like in our other interview when I was talking to Happy, saying turn that muscle on and off.
Yeah.
To find that on nothing and really create and
you've got literally millions of people that are ready to shit on you if it's not perfect.
I don't even think he knew that was going to happen. I don't think that they knew it now. The way social media is now, you expect, you know what I mean? Now it's like the shit storm.
Yeah.
So I think it was also how do you deal with that? What was he, 12?
Forget him. Natalie Portman was totally shit in this movie. She was. She totally was terrible. Like the Brit girl, the accent, terrible.
She phoned it in.
She. I mean, I know she was younger and whatever, but it was like, dude, it was so bad.
Well, like I mentioned before, I think that there's an authenticity that certain actors seem to hold when they are on a screen and they are conversing with real people and real things, and they have emotion and all of these things to feed on. I would assume that that's something that actors need and use. And then when you have that on green screen and you don't have any of those things, I feel that there are certain actors that can create it in their mind, and then certain actors that really can't. And you can kind of see that it's not there, and that they're talking. Like I feel like even in the new Thor movie with Natalie Portman and a lot of those green screen scenes, I was just like, I feel like I know nothing is there for her right now, even though she's amazing. But there was just something about and there's something of just the green screen that brings me out of the normal captivating performances that Natalie Portman gives. I find that when she's in that green screen, I just don't have that with her.
Yeah, dude. And the movie's like just shy of 2.5 hours long. Like, what the fuck, bro?
All to get up to the greatest fucking battle of all of Star Wars, which is also amazing.
Yes.
Like
the Duel of the Fates is incredible.
Well, the Duel of the Fates is incredible. Even the scene when Jar Jar is fucking being a idiot on the tanks.
Yeah,
I like that scene, man. You know what I mean? Like,
I guess
I like. Well, no, the whole battle. I like the whole battle.
Yeah.
I like the not that.
No, I mean, listen, it has everything that you love about Star Wars. The
bubble
tech,
shields,
the cool droids, the droids with like personality, and the tanks and all that stuff is cool.
You know, those tanks were Nike shoes.
Oh, were they really?
Yeah, you know the with the flat. When they had the basketball trainers, back in the day that had the weird little, it kept you off your heel.
Oh yeah.
That's what those things were.
Oh wow.
And they were just redesigned and they made them into ships.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Not cool enough to make it a good movie though.
No.
But Duel of the Fates, that's why I chose this as a movie with great action. It's still one of the best lightsaber fights ever. ever.
Ever.
And it is literally everything that the entire franchise rests upon. It is literally what the turning point of Anakin, right? From good or evil, which way he's going to go, who's going to win this fight, who's going to, Qui-Gon dies. He's not going to train Anakin now. Is Obi-Wan not ready to do this? The Sith are back. You know what I mean? Ray Park, one of the best villains ever, and they killed him off.
They brought him back.
Well, yeah,
they brought Darth Maul back in the Clone Wars. They brought him back.
They brought him back in the animated. I mean, he's played Darth again.
And then he had cameo in Solo.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
but that was how long later? I mean,
of course.
Yeah.
I mean, again, to me, it's money. That not the cartoons. I thought the Clone Wars. I thought the cartoons were fucking amazing.
I love the Clone Wars.
But Solo, that Darth
Solo,
Maul,
I hated.
I'm like, that was a fucking money grab.
That was another candidate for shitty movie.
Well, yeah, but that's shitty for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I think we had like a trope that we were sticking with when we had this vision of good and bad when it came to that.
But the duel itself, Nick Gillard was the stunt coordinator and choreographer for that. And he went on to work on more of the prequels and stuff. But man, he did a really long, I'm going to link it in the show notes too, a really long, for Vulture magazine, a really long breakdown of that fight. And one of the things I love about that fight is, you know how it starts off, all three of them are fighting, and then they're progressing through the ship or the station, whatever, and the force field things, and they're getting stuck and they have to wait. And what does Qui-Gon do? He sits down and meditates. That was Liam Neeson's idea. He was like, what would this master do here? He would just chill, relax, meditate.
That's awesome.
Wait for his moment.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Gillard was like, I got to give credit where credit was due. That was not my idea.
It's great when actors do that. When I was on I can't say the scene because it's not out yet.
Yeah.
When I was on The Walking Dead, Jeffrey Dean Morgan did something like that, man. And it was fucking, everybody on set was just like, oh.
Yeah.
Fuck, you're awesome.
Dude, but it's such a great fight. And in particular, I love the second half of the fight, Obi-Wan versus.
Yes, for sure.
Versus Darth Maul.
There's, what's funny is if we had Jared Kirby here, he could go way into depth on this fight, man.
Oh yeah.
Like
read that interview, because he talks about how the basis was kendo, but they abandoned a lot of the kendo basics for all this stuff. They had to, because, well, you can't actually touch the blade, like all these things about working with a lightsaber,
right?
That you have to make up its own stuff. You know what I mean? But it's a great long article, definitely worth reading. But I think it's still one of the best lightsaber fights in the whole franchise.
That, and my other favorite one I know what you're going to say is,
I know what you're going to say.
What?
Ahsoka.
No, actually, I mean, I was staying within the Star Wars movies.
Oh, okay.
Within the Star Wars movies, but I love the first time you see fucking Yoda take on Dooku.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah. That was good stuff. So, yeah, Duel of the Fates, dude.
But that was the next movie.
It was.
Which was much better.
Yep. And also coordinated by the same Nick Gillard. So, that's my choice for shit movie.
That's a good choice. Mine,
good action.
My choice is for shit movie, good action is Ong Bak Thai Warrior. Man,
you're going to get some hate for this one.
Dude, I don't give a fuck, bro. This movie was so awesome action-wise, so awesome fight-wise, but the movie in itself was so fucking boring.
I actually agree with you. I went back. I have the special edition right here, but I haven't watched it in so long. I went and watched it this week.
It's such a fucking boring movie, and so many holes, and so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like Ting, right? He has the only address he has is where Don lives.
Yeah.
But yet he shows up in the middle of the fucking city where his cousin, and he knows exactly where his fucking cousin is and how to find him.
Who, Dirty Balls?
He's like
Dirty Balls?
Hum Lee or Hum Lao.
Yeah.
Right? Goes and finds him, fucking no problem, whatever. And then that girl with the voice. Oof.
She's got the fingers across the chalkboard.
That's brutal. I mean,
voice.
It's pretty brutal, right?
Yeah.
So then he's like, can you show me how to get here? He's like, I found where you are. I don't even know where the fuck you live, but I came and found you in the city. He's like, but you need to show me where to get to Don's.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, cool. Come to my apartment, hang out because I hear money in your pocket.
Yeah.
Fucking robs him.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And leaves. And he's like, I'm going to this fucking fight club. And literally knows where the fight club is because he just fucking shows up there and he's like, give me back my money.
Yeah, I know.
But still can't find this guy Don's apartment, which he has the address for.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's a great choice. The story was, I was actually getting so bored watching it, waiting for the fights.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest, like, and I don't know if this is just and
I feel like that was also a movie that opened the door for so many. I feel like without Ong Bak, we wouldn't have The Raid.
Oh, we wouldn't have so much.
You know what I mean?
It was a game changer movie.
For sure.
100%.
But
like nobody had seen action like that before. Parkour like that. Fucking aerials.
Dude, the split slide under the fucking truck.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. I mean, Tony Jaa was like, people were like, Jackie Chan. This is the next Jackie Chan. That's who this guy is. Like, he's fucking amazing. And
he is amazing.
He is.
Like, his performance
I
is
love
amazing.
Every time I see Tony Jaa in a movie, I'm just like, nice.
Dude, the fights are just awesome.
Oh, and
the chase scenes. I mean, come on, the tuk-tuk.
The tuk-tuk chase scene?
Yeah.
When they fucking, dude, when that guy ran up the tuk-tuk as they pushed it off the bridge.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I want to know what rigging they green screened out of that.
There's no rigging.
Or
and
if there
no
wasn't
screen,
any,
dude.
Or if it's just like
that guy
shit.
That's just real shit. Dude, that chase scene was awesome.
Yeah.
That chase scene was so awesome. And you know what? Just since you brought up the Raid, in Raid 2, the whole car chase scene thing, I think that went on for way too fucking long. Like, that's one of the things I don't like about that movie. And then, but this chase scene with the tuk-tuks, just as long, fucking great.
Yeah. Also, it was something I'd never seen before.
Yeah.
We'd seen car chases, but never on the tuk-tuks.
As somebody who has taken a tuk-tuk across Kathmandu, I will tell you, you do feel like you're taking your life into your hands. It was like totally fucking crazy.
Well, dude. It's the same reason. What were the ATVs, the three-wheelers?
Yeah, the four-wheeler.
No, the three-wheelers that they banned because it had the center wheel on the front, and when you turned it, they would all start flipping over, and people were getting hurt. So they took them off the market. But that's what those things are like.
Yeah.
You turn too sharp, you're going over.
Dude, the chasing on this special edition DVD that I have, which probably nobody can find anymore, it does have a storyboard comparison video, storyboard to Tuk Tuk Chase. It's freaking awesome. I'll give it to you after the show. You can take it home.
For sure.
Yeah. It's got some really cool, again, bring back physical media. I miss being able to buy a special edition DVD and have like all this stuff. I
mean, and also I just love that it looked like they were really fucking hitting each other.
100%.
They were fucking hitting each other. Like, there's just no way. There's just no way. They were fucking cleaning each other the fuck out. Like, I'm just like, he fucking hit that guy.
Oh, 100%.
I'm like, he hit that guy.
They were beating the shit out of each other, man.
Dude, there was just, that's why, and another reason why it's just so good. And you get guys that are just like, dude, I don't give a fuck, man. Let's just hit me.
But didn't you watch it again? Say, oh yeah, like basically Tony Jaa does like 5 moves in the whole movie, and that's all he does.
No, I did not say that. I do not. I
really
definitely did not say that. I think
I was like,
Tony. I'm sorry, but
no, I'm not talking about the fights. I'm talking about the sort of acrobatic parkour stuff. The chases. I mean, Kong, aerial. You know, I mean, he
does the Kong, he does the aerial, he does the cartwheel between the 2 glass fucking planes, which were 2 glass windows in the thin thing, which was amazing.
Yeah.
But I mean, but it's not so much that he's doing the same move; it's what's around him while he's doing it.
No, I get it.
But no, I definitely didn't. That wasn't me.
I didn't think that about the fights. The fights were just awesome.
Yeah.
And again, like you said, it opened the door for everything we have today. It was like, it's one of those movies that, like, for action, there's like these certain bullet point movies, like timeline movies, like Collateral for gun stuff, right? Or The Matrix,
or any Michael Mann movie for gun stuff.
Yeah, totally. But Collateral, that one scene with the trunk of the car.
Oh yeah,
it was
I know
like
what you're talking about.
But these blips in timelines that change action movies, and you can't go back.
Yes,
Ong Bak's one of them.
was one of them.
But that's the problem. That's not the problem, but that's the thing about going back and watching like Heat and Shamus and stuff. We're on the other side of these blips.
Yep.
And we're looking at like, okay, well, this was passable in 73 or 86.
Which is why I didn't want to take heat out of my mentions after I rewatched it again. I was like, God, I'm like, but you know what? I was like, at the time, and not rewatching it, I stand by it.
Yep.
For sure. You know?
I had fun watching it.
Yeah, me too.
And you know what's...
I had fun watching Shamus.
From a personal...
You want to know what Shamus made me want to watch, actually?
What?
You want to know what, like, it made me want to watch The Sting.
Oh, yeah.
I watched The Sting, and then I watched The Hustler.
Because all the pool hall stuff?
It made me want to watch those two movies.
Yeah.
And I literally, like, stayed up late and I watched them both.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, what Shamus did for me with the old New York nostalgia, Heat did for my wife about Vegas.
Ah, very cool.
Yeah, it was very cool. And Vegas even more so, because most of that shit's gone. You know, New York, it's all, like, stuff is still here.
Yeah.
It's just grown, you know. Vegas, they tear stuff down and put new stuff up every... Like,
well, now it just all looks different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all the same places, but it's like, wait, this was a strip club that's now a... You know what I mean? The facade and everything's still out there, but now it's just different stuff.
Dude, that was a great question we got.
Yeah, it was. Randall, you're awesome, man.
Randall Trang.
For sure.
You're the man. Coming up with a good question.
That was a good one.
Yeah, man. So, I think that's it. We done? That's all our movies.
I think we're done. That's it.
Everybody needs to go out and watch these movies.
Right?
If you disagree with us, let us know.
Oh, my God. Do you know how many people are going to fucking Big Trouble in Little China and kick the shit out of me?
Verbally? Yeah. No, seriously. Let us...
fucking done.
Listen. Reply, comment. Let us know what you think about the Big Trouble in Little China thing. If it was intended to be cheesy, does it still mean it's bad action, or is it good action because they did what they intended to do? Let us know what you think. That's and then we'll actually, in a future episode, if we actually do get replies, people telling us what they think, we'll tell you all what they thought.
And maybe I'll get my 30 lashings.
Dude, this is a great episode, man. Thank you, awesome, Randall. Dude. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, and by the way, Randall, I don't know, man, but if you hear this episode, I have a cool idea for a graphic novel, man. And I know you're laughing and rolling your eyes, but in case you don't know, Randall is an amazing fucking artist.
Yeah. We have a little sketch.
Dude, we should have brought the sketch up.
Yeah. We'll show it in another episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a little sketch still on the wall over here.
Randall's phenomenal. And also, because we are here, Randall designed this tattoo for me.
Oh, cool.
So I called up Randall when I was in I still throw axes, but when I was really, really into it and I was, going to the world champions and stuff, I love Boba Fett and, I had Randall, I'm like, hey, can you design me a fucking, Boba Fett, a Mando helmet or a Boba Fett helmet with an axe to it, and boom.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, he designed me my tattoo.
Very cool.
Thanks, Randall.
Yeah, we got some cool discussion in today.
Right.
Thanks so much. Yo, we'll see you guys in 2 semanas.
What he said.
Later. Film Fights with Friends is brought to you by Breakfall Studios. Executive producers Stephen Koepfer, Paul Varacchi, Thiago Benedetti. Produced by Press Record Studios with Matthew Kaplowitz. Associate producers Becca GT and Jared DiCroce. Edited by Matthew Kaplowitz. Original music by Ahrue Luster.